Hello and welcome. Welcome to this ever-loving and ever-present now moment. I'm coming to you with a initiation of a KeyCode mentoring journey that has been in my being all along, but only now are ready to come into this world. It is Remember Your Cosmic Architecture, the living codex of your being, or the living codes of your being. And as I give expression to that, I know that every single breath that I've taken, every single step that I've taken has prepared me to be fully present in the very center of my cosmic nature with you, to reflect the truth of that to you as a remembrance of your own. I have, up until this moment, been guided every step of the way. And I didn't always understand how that guidance looked like and sounded like. But gradually I've been shown. And through doing so, I became very familiar with the very soulscape of my being, the very cosmic radiance of all that I came here to be. And I've also been on this journey connected to many groups. And what I've noticed is that there come moments where people stop to share. And I'm very attuned to that. And only now I know the reason for that. Because I remember moments, many moments, that I too have been in groups, and then there's something that stops me to share. So that moment I know very well, and therefore can see it, hear it, recognize it easily, because it's the truth of my being. And therefore, many, many parts of the path of my journey that I've been on, I had to do so on my own, and through doing so became very familiar with my own source connection, which I'm now so grateful for, because that is a truth of my beingness, is the gnosis that in our true and only and continuous source connection lies the answers to all the questions that's within. And what I also know is that to really know that and to know the depths of it is helpful to do so with another in an intimate way. And for me, that intimacy comes through mentoring, because in a mentoring relationship is where we can truly, safely, and vulnerably be who we are. And when I was in many mentoring and coaching relationships on my journey initially, I've noticed when I sit with others in that relationship, in the spaciousness created, there's a visceral, felt experience of shifts taking place, because there's space to breathe and to be with that which is coming forward. And therefore, I'm so excited to initiate this 6-month KeyCode Mentoring Journey to deepen into your remembrance of your cosmic nature as a way of being and a way of serving. And it can be either or it can be both. And why I'm mentioning those two is that I know that many beings are here just to experience their cosmic nature fully, all of it, and to be in the joy and the love of that. And I'm equally aware that there are those that, through doing so, also want to be in service to others. And therefore, I'm including both. And what makes this mentoring journey so unique, and perhaps so unique to you, is that we all know that we have stepped into a whole new place in space, which for me feels like a whole new universe that is open to co-create all that we always yearned for. And whether we yearn for a loving relationship or relationships, or we yearn for a place where we can live that is reflective of our crystalline nature, or whether we yearn to give expression by means of art or music or any form of sound, or being in nature in a way that's natural and deepened in the crystalline essence of that. In whatever way, it is all brand new because we are now in the center of our crystalline essence, of our divinity, of our original cosmic architecture, and in relation to our own individual crystalline architecture, and the two of them weaving and breathing continuously together as one. And having said all of that, I'm also very aware that every individual soul's path is unique to them and therefore is different for all. And therefore, I do not have a mentoring journey in mind that is structured in a very specific way for that reason. This KeyCode mentoring journey is focusing on specific key codes of my being, the very key codes that I've embodied, and therefore can be a reflection of that for the very keys or codes of your own cosmic architecture. And therefore, I want to share a few of my key codes so that you can feel into or listen to the resonance, whether you resonate with this very KeyCode mentoring program. And as you listen to them and feel into the resonance of them, to know that in the very first Zoom session that we come together, we'll go into a conversation where we can clarify for you what your guidance is around that which you resonate with, and then that becomes your own individualized program. Okay, having said that, to share with you the key codes of my being. And the very first one is, I stand in deep honoring and reverence for the direct source connection that we all have, and for that to be the compass of our journey. And therefore, the very connection that you have, your source connection, is the source of your guidance. And that is the compass for the conversation, so that you can give expression to that. Because what I've learned is when I give expression to something and it is outside of me, and that's also what I've noticed when I was in all my other coaching and mentoring relationships, is as soon as it's voiced, there's a clarity that can emerge when we start noticing the different themes or patterns for ourselves. And it's easier to do so when there's another in reflection of that. So your own compass is the compass of our interactions. And then the next key code is the very gifts of your being as the keys and the codes of your expression. So you know what your different gifts are inherently. And it's something that flows very naturally out of you. And sometimes we just need another to reflect that to us, to really deepen in the knowing of what those gifts are from a cosmic perspective, because there's a way of being through your presence that weaves different, not only themes for yourself, but the very fabric, weaving the fabric of your cosmic nature into beingness. And that gifts is what you are here to weave into the very architecture of our world in this moment. And that's why you came here. And to be very clear on what that is and what that looks like. And the third key code is your life-giving energy and the circulation of that through all the different bodies of your being and expression is what the main focus will be on. Because that eternal source of love and light and life of your being is the very fabric through which all weaves together, that flows through you. And to be aware in your body how that feels like for you, so that with this awareness you can start noticing that in others too. And the next key code is your connection through your crystalline architecture and the flowing of that life-giving energy in your architecture, to bring that awareness. And if you're not fully aware of that yet, to come into full awareness of that. And when you're already in full awareness of that, to start noticing how that weaves through the very cosmic architecture of your being. And through doing so, weaving your one cosmic body through your expression into this world. And I think the wisdom that comes from that is what allows for the continuous acceleration of the remembrance of this truth for others too. And then the next key is your presence that weaves through all, in all ways, is the very service of your being. And your presence, when you expand into your cosmic nature and the presence of that, which is crystalline and sovereign, that very presence is through which all that we do, are, be, serve, create from, is the very way in which we are of service in this world. And then to know exactly what that is, because for me, that present weaves through all of creation all of the time. So not only in service to other people, but also in relation and relationship with our plants, our animals, minerals, crystals, and our very elemental nature, and to explore all of that. And then the next key code is your connection to your original cosmic codex. And I'm sure your centeredness and your connection to your own soul's essence knows its connection to your original cosmic nature. And it is about being aware of that consistently as your presence and your way of being and serving, and how that looks like for you. And then your unique soul's essence is the service of your being and the service of being here. Because your unique soul's essence is this perfectly blended gift of your being that is sequenced in a way unique to you. And that unique sequencing of the very sovereign essence of your being is your gift. And to know what that is, because our true nature is one that is loving, which is sovereign, which is Christed or crystalline. It is innocent. It is pure. It is deeply compassionate and caring. It is in integrity with the very Christed fiber of creation. And your unique blend of that is your very gift through the presence of who you are. And when you know this, when you just see it and it's reflected to you, there's a way in which we show up, where we know that as we do, all starts resonating in their own and their true essence as well, because that presence is so strong. It's our heart emanation or radiance or luminosity that is just felt and known by others. And the next key code is your unique languaging of your being. So your languaging of your being is present whether you are still and in silence, it is felt and known by others, or whether it is through light language, where you give expression to the codes from your essence, or light weaving in all the different ways that naturally flows through you, or the very way in which you give expression to sound, and whether that is through the very songs of your being by literally singing, or whether it is through how do I say that? Your presence sounds others. So people start resonating with the sound architecture of your being. And as soon as you tune into that, you'll start recognizing that in others as well. Your languaging can also be through creating something, either artwork or poetry, or something that you can put in your house or for other people in their homes, or making something with material. There's so many ways that you, through that language, give expression to your being. So to explore that. And then the last key code of my being is to know the fields, your cosmic field, in relation to other fields, and to be clear on what that is and how that looks like for you, so that you know when other fields are moving into your field and what the resonance of that is. And I am so excited to touch on either one, some, or all of these key codes when we step into our relationship in our KeyCode Mentoring Journey. And it will be my absolutely greatest honor and deepest joy to walk with you on this path, heart to heart, and be with each other in a way where you know it is safe to be as vulnerable as what is needed, if vulnerable at all. Because I know that in that there is a lot of strength, because that is where the core essence is shifting and remembered in a new way, in a deepening. And we will meet each other every second week on Zoom for an hour. And therefore, it will be 12 one-hour Zoom sessions. And every other week, we will connect with each other on Telegram. I think it's a beautiful place to meet in that way, create that relationship where we will ground every second week what has came into your awareness or something that you've been grounding through the application of our conversations. So how does our conversations translate into your life? To just talk about that, because I think it's important that every a realization, remembrance, key and code of your being that you come into knowing of, for that to be present in your daily living, and therefore grounding all of you, all of who you are, remembering on a deepening journey, how to weave that into your daily living. So we'll talk about that on the Telegram conversations, and the way in which you can enter into this very mentoring journey is just to connect with me personally, send me a message so that we can start having a conversation around when our first meeting will be, etc. We'll talk about the details in that way. So thank you for being here in this moment to receive all that is here for you. And if any of this resonates in a way that might be of interest to others that you are in relationship with, please feel free to share this with them too. And I'm so excited to hear from you and to enter into the 6-month KeyCode Mentoring Journey to deepen into your remembrance of your cosmic nature as a way of being and serving, so that we can remember together the cosmic architecture of your being and the very living codes of your true nature. Sending you so much love and excited to be with you.